Welcome to the Stoic Golden Tribe, where real men rise with timeless wisdom, quiet strength, and the truths modern voices won't tell you. Have you ever looked into a woman's eyes and realized she doesn't fully trust you? She's kind, she's loving, she's there. But deep down, there's hesitation. And maybe she's never said it out loud. Maybe she can't even explain it herself. But her soul hasn't surrendered to your leadership. She doesn't feel fully safe. She's still watching, still measuring, still wondering if you're the man who won't fail her. And here's the truth. Trust is not given. It's earned through presence, protected by consistency, and proven through pain. And if you're a man who wants a woman's full trust, the kind that opens her completely, you must become the kind of man who can be trusted even when no one's watching. This isn't about manipulation. It's not about playing mind games. It's not about being perfect. It's about becoming the kind of man who radiates peace, commands respect, and never makes her doubt your strength, even in silence. In this video, we'll walk through 4 pillars of unshakable trust in love. How to build the foundation of trust through presence, protection, and purpose. How to become her emotional sanctuary, a place where her spirit can rest. Why truth matters more than charm, and how honesty becomes the deepest form of intimacy. And how real understanding, not just love, is the key to eternal trust. We'll uncover powerful love stories from history, draw from wisdom, and unlock practical steps that make you unshakably trustworthy, but not just in her eyes, but in the eyes of God and yourself. Like this video, share it with a man who's ready to earn trust, not just demand it. Subscribe for more truth they never taught us. And drop a comment before you go, because your story could awaken another man's breakthrough. Let's get into it. Chapter 1. The foundation of trust: presence, protection, and purpose. There's a quiet kind of power in a man who's fully present, not loud, not showy, not constantly trying to prove his worth, but solid, grounded, focused. It's the kind of energy a woman notices, even if she can't explain why. It's the difference between a man who says he's there for her and a man who makes her feel that without ever saying a word. If you want a woman to trust you fully, with her heart, her fears, her soul, the foundation is not in your words, it's in your presence. When you're present, you send a signal that says, I'm not just here for the moment, I'm here for the mission. Presence means you look her in the eyes when she speaks. You don't scroll, you don't check out, you're not halfway in and halfway somewhere else, because to a woman, how you pay attention is how she measures your protection. Prince Albert and Queen Victoria, the power of grounded presence. Let's take a look at a powerful historical love that was built on trust, not just romance. Queen Victoria ruled an empire. She had power, prestige, and the eyes of the world on her every move. But when she married Prince Albert, something changed in her tone, in her writing, and in her heart. Albert wasn't just a royal match. He was her emotional anchor. In her letters and diaries, Victoria repeatedly described Albert as her everything, her soul's companion, and the only man who could steady her storms. Why? Because Albert didn't try to compete with her power. He didn't flinch at her emotions. He was there, constantly, calmly, intelligently. He helped her navigate the pressures of the throne and motherhood. He brought clarity to her chaos, and he showed up in the smallest, most consistent ways. Presence, not performance, made him the most trusted man in her life. Protection isn't always physical, it's emotional, mental, and practical. When men think of protection, they often think of physical strength. And yes, physical strength matters. Every woman wants to know you'll stand between her and the world if necessary. but the kind of protection that builds trust. It's emotional protection. Can she cry in front of you without fearing judgment? Can she bring her confusion, her stress, her darkest doubts and feel safe in your presence? That's emotional protection. Mental protection is your clarity. Can she trust your decisions? Can you lead without being led by impulses? And practical protection, are you handling your life? Do you show up on time? Do your words match your actions? Are you solving problems before they turn into crises? When she sees that you protect not just her body but her peace, she will open herself more than you've ever seen, because now she knows, I'm safe here, I can rest here. Purpose. The unshakable frame of a trustworthy man. A man without purpose is a man whose attention is always up for sale. And a woman knows this. She can feel it in your inconsistency. She senses it when you lose yourself in distractions, vices, and moods. She watches you drift. And no matter how good you look or how sweet your words are, her trust fades because her soul knows this man doesn't know where he's going, but when you walk with purpose, everything changes. You're not swayed by every opinion. You're not lost in every setback. You don't need her to complete you because you're already moving forward with mission in your step. And the paradox is this: the more purpose-driven you are, the more a woman will trust that she can follow you. She doesn't want to be your leader, she wants to be your teammate, but only when she's convinced that you won't fold under pressure because you're rooted in something deeper than her affection. Build your life, then invite her into it. A woman will trust you more when she sees you trust yourself, not in arrogance, not in ego, but in clarity, in direction. She needs to see that you are building something, not just reacting to life, but shaping it. She needs to feel that your life is big enough, wide enough, solid enough for her heart to rest inside of it. So build your body, build your business, build your beliefs, build your brotherhood, build your boundaries, build a life that is so full of meaning that her presence isn't your oxygen or it's your inspiration. When you do that, trust becomes natural, because now she's not questioning your presence. She's not unsure of your protection. She's not wondering about your purpose. You've shown her, I've got this, and I've got you. Comment. Prompt. Drop a comment if you're committed to being the kind of man a woman can trust with her heart. Chapter 2. Never betray her safety, emotional, mental, and spiritual. There's a truth about trust that many men miss. A woman may forgive your flaws, she may tolerate your setbacks, but the moment she no longer feels safe with you, you've lost her trust in ways that are hard to repair. And safety isn't always about physical protection. Yes, she wants to know you'd fight for her, but more than that. She wants to know you won't become the man she has to defend herself from, because the man she loves can't also be the man she fears. Real safety is about emotional consistency, mental stability, and the kind of daily discipline that tells her, without words, I will never let your heart be hurt by my chaos. Abigail and John Adams, Trust Through Turmoil. Let's travel back to the late 1700s. The American Revolution was in full swing. John Adams was helping to shape the future of a new nation, often away from home for months, even years at a time. And yet, in the thousands of letters exchanged between John and his wife Abigail, a remarkable truth stands out: deep, unbreakable trust. Why? Because even though John wasn't physically present, he never stopped protecting her emotionally. His letters were filled with reassurance, with appreciation, with genuine curiosity about her world. He never dismissed her fears or minimized her burdens. Even as he worked with other revolutionaries, he made time to write with warmth, consistency, and humility. Abigail once wrote, "My dearest friend, the joy I feel when I see your handwriting is only surpassed by the peace I feel in knowing your mind is still with me. That's emotional safety, or even across oceans. Emotional consistency, the unsung superpower of trust. You don't have to be rich. You don't have to be perfect. You don't even have to have all the answers. But if you can be emotionally steady, you'll create a space for a woman to trust you fully. She needs to know that your mood won't swing like a wrecking ball through her day. She needs to believe that your silence isn't punishment. She needs to feel that even when you're upset, she's still emotionally safe in your presence, because the moment she starts wondering if your anger means distance or your stress means avoidance, she pulls back. Not because she doesn't love you, but because her nervous system is trying to survive you. So be a man who's in control of himself. Speak when you're calm, explain what you're feeling, and when you need space, tell her that clearly. Not with coldness, but with care. That alone separates boys from men, and it creates the environment where her trust thrives. Mental clarity be the island in her storm, one of the greatest gifts a man can give. A woman is mental clarity, not domination, not control, but calm direction. When a woman is overwhelmed with emotion, decisions, or doubt, the last thing she needs is a man who adds to the fog. She needs to see in your eyes. You know where you're going. You've got a plan, you're thinking straight. This doesn't mean you have to solve everything, but it does mean you don't spiral when she's spiraling. It means you stay rational when she's emotional, not by suppressing her, but by supporting her. Mental clarity is staying rooted in logic without losing empathy. It's being the man who can zoom out and say, here's what matters, here's what we're going to do, and we're going to be okay. That presence builds trust, because now she knows in the storm you stay dry, the safety of silence and the power of your tone. Many men don't realize that a single tone of voice can either build or destroy trust. You don't have to yell, you don't have to insult. All it takes is a cold silence, a sarcastic tone, a dismissive shrug. And just like that, she begins to wonder, am I safe here? Women are deeply attuned to emotional energy. Not just what you say, but how you say it. And the men who build lifelong trust are the ones who master their tone, even in conflict. So when you're angry, stay controlled. When you're disappointed, stay respectful. When you're silent, stay present. Because the goal isn't to win the moment. The goal is to protect the trust. And if you can lead through tension without breaking her sense of safety, you've given her something rare and unforgettable. The safe man isn't boring. He's magnetic. Now let's be clear, safety doesn't mean soft, it doesn't mean passive, it doesn't mean you never disagree or express your strength. A safe man can still be bold, he can challenge, he can lead, he can demand more from her and from himself. But he always does it from a place of protection, not ego. His strength never becomes a threat, his passion never becomes punishment, his intensity never becomes instability. And that kind of man, he's not just loved, he's trusted. He's not just attractive, he's unforgettable, because every time she thinks of him, her body relaxes, her mind clears, her spirit settles, and that's the highest compliment a man can receive. Just being near you makes me feel safe. Comment below if you believe real protection starts with emotional strength. Chapter 3. When you speak, let it be. Truth, even when it hurts. Trust isn't built on comfort, it's built on truth, even when the truth cuts. A woman doesn't need a man who always says the right thing. She needs a man who means what he says, who doesn't twist his words to keep the peace, and who doesn't lie to avoid consequences. She doesn't want a smooth talker, she wants a straight one. Because here's the hard truth. When a woman catches you in a lie, even a small one, something deep inside her shifts. It's not just about what you said. It's about whether she can trust your word again. Napoleon and Josephine. When love fails the test of truth, Napoleon, Bonaparte and Josephine de Beauharnais had a passion that burned across letters and continents. He adored her. He wrote her endless notes filled with obsession and longing. But behind the romantic flames was a bitter truth. Trust was never solid. Both were unfaithful, both hid secrets, both tried to control the image of love instead of protecting the integrity of it. And over time, the cracks grew. Their love burned bright. But it burned out too, not because the love wasn't real, but because the truth wasn't consistent. Josephine couldn't fully trust Napoleon's word, and Napoleon never fully believed in Josephine's loyalty. The lesson? Passion isn't enough. If truth doesn't anchor the relationship, it will drift or drown. Say what you mean what you say, or say nothing at all. Men often think that lying protects the relationship, but it doesn't. It poisons it. Even if she never finds out, and that guilt changes how you hold her gaze. It changes how you speak, how you lead, and how you show up. You cannot build a solid relationship on words you don't fully stand behind. So tell her the truth, even when it makes her uncomfortable, especially then, because truth builds trust in layers. One honest conversation at a time. Tell her what you believe, tell her what you need, tell her what you fear and what you refuse to tolerate. Be gentle, but be direct. Because when a man speaks truthfully, and backs his words with action, a woman begins to relax into his leadership. And that's where trust is born. Don't hide behind half-truths or silence. Some men don't lie, they just omit, they leave things out, they avoid, they keep things vague, not technically dishonest, but not transparent either. That's not trust, that's manipulation in disguise. A woman knows when she's being kept in the dark. She may not say it right away, but over time, it eats at her. So tell the full truth. Don't dodge the hard topics. Don't delay the conversations that matter. If you messed up, say it. If something needs to change, name it. If you're uncertain, admit it. She'll respect the man who stands in his truth more than the one who hides behind a mask. Honesty without cruelty, truth doesn't have to tear her down. Now understand this, honesty doesn't mean brutality. You don't get to weaponize the truth to hurt her or make yourself feel superior. There's a difference between being honest and being harsh. You can tell her she's wrong without raising your voice. You can express disappointment without shaming her. You can bring truth without bringing fear, because trust isn't just about saying the truth. It's about how you say it. Speak with clarity, not contempt. Lead with conviction, not ego. And always remember, your words are bricks. They either build the house of trust or break the windows of connection. Choose wisely. If you want her trust, be her mirror, not her judge. A powerful man doesn't tell a woman what to think. He helps her see more clearly, starting with how he sees the world. When you tell her the truth, you're not trying to control her. You're offering her the safety of reality. Even if it stings, it earns something deeper than approval. It earns respect. And respect is the doorway to lasting trust. So don't aim to be liked. Aim to be trusted. She may disagree with you, she may push back. But deep down, she'll know, this man is real. I can count on him to say what needs to be said, not what I want to hear. And that's when she opens fully. Because now, she doesn't have to wonder what you really think. She knows, because you told her. With strength and with love. Drop a comment if you believe truth is the most powerful language a man can speak. Chapter 4. Trust is earned in the small moments and lost the same way. Big speeches don't build trust. Daily actions do. It's not the grand gestures that make a woman trust you. It's what you do when there's no audience, no pressure, no spotlight. Trust is built quietly. When you say you'll call Edie and you do, when you say you'll be there and you show up, when you say nothing at all, but your actions still speak loud. These small things, they matter more than any "I love you" ever could. The unsung power of consistency. A woman will trust you deeply only when she sees consistency in how you live, not just when you're trying to impress her, but every day, even when no one's watching. She watches how you treat the waiter. She notices if you're late and don't explain. She feels it when your tone changes depending on your mood. That's how she decides, can I trust this man to be solid even when life isn't? Because trust isn't just about big decisions. It's about whether you keep your word when it seems like it doesn't matter. But here's the truth. It always matters. King George VI, small actions, big influence. During World War II, while bombs fell over London, King George VI made a bold decision. He refused to flee the city. He and his family stayed. He walked the streets, met with survivors, comforted the broken. No fancy speeches, no drama, just presence, steady, consistent presence. That simple act, choosing to stay, made the British people trust him in a way no crown ever could. He didn't say, "Trust me." He showed them, you don't need to be a king to do the same. Show up in your own life. Be the man who stays, who speaks plainly, who acts predictably. That's what builds loyalty. That's what makes a woman feel secure. The danger of slipping, how trust disappears. Without a word, it doesn't take betrayal to lose trust. Sometimes all it takes is inconsistency. The times you said you'd do something and forgot. The times she asked a question and you brushed her off. The times she needed support and you gave silence. Every time you skip the small responsibility, every time you choose convenience over principle, you lose a little bit of her confidence until one day she looks at you and thinks, I love him, but I don't trust him to show up. Don't let it get there. Daily habits that build unshakable. Trust. Want to be a man she trusts without question? Do these things every day. Speak clearly. Say what you mean. Follow through. Always. Be emotionally present, even if the moment feels small. Don't wait to be asked twice. Do what needs to be done. Admit when you're wrong. No excuses. Defend her in public. Correct her in private. Keep your energy clean. No mixed signals. No hidden motives. None of this makes you weak. It makes you reliable. And in a world full of chaos, that's the most powerful thing a man can be. Her trust is a privilege, not a guarantee. A woman doesn't owe you her trust. You earn it, not once, but every day. And the moment you start thinking her trust is guaranteed, you'll get careless. You'll stop checking yourself. And that's when things fall apart. But if you treat her trust like something sacred, if you guard it, protect it, water it daily with consistency and presence, she'll give you more than her trust. She'll give you her loyalty, her vulnerability, her full self. And that's a gift most men never earn, because they never had the discipline to protect it. Drop a comment if you believe small actions prove real character.